Hello, is that Peter? Oh, hi Peter, it's Mr. Smelly here. All right, yeah, hi. Thanks. I love the Fragrance View channel too. And well, I was really excited to see about your new line of fragrances, and that's kind of why I'm calling. And we were wondering maybe if you would be the perfumer for the follow-up to Gravitas Pour Homme. Yeah, I know you're busy at the moment, but I mean, I'm sure you could find space for this one. Aaron Terence Hughes. Yeah, I already did ask him. Well, he's no. In the end, he wasn't quite the one we were looking for. But okay, just hear me out. Give me a chance. Yeah. Okay. What do I have in mind? Well, we're thinking a classic gentlemanly cologne, something fresh yet refined. Maybe think of Monsieur de Givenchy, Chanel pour Monsieur, Capucci pour Homme, something like that. What do you say, Peter? Can you do it? Hello? Hello, Peter? Hello everyone, welcome back to all of you in the Smelly Army. So quick scent of the day check for me, it's Milano Cento Him Eau de Parfum, the new Eau de Parfum version of this fantastic fougere. It's one of many fragrances you can sample over at Fragrance Samples UK, and they are going to be the sponsors of today's video. And there's a link to their website in the description. You can buy samples of all of the fragrances in today's video there. This hasn't quite made the list because it's too soon to tell if it is a modern masterpiece, but it's very, very good. So the subject of today's video, 5 fragrances that I consider to be modern masterpieces. They've all come out within the last 10 years. They're all niche fragrances actually, and I think they're all absolute stunners. And there's quite a few here that I have not mentioned so much yet on the channel, so hopefully you'll discover something new. Our sponsors today then, Fragrance Samples UK, my recommended place wherever you are in the world to get your fragrance samples. They have an amazing range of, I think it's over 600 designer and niche fragrances. They do sizes from 1 to 10 mil. They do ship worldwide. If you're in the UK or 14 other EU countries that you will find listed at checkout, then you can just order through their website with tracked shipping. If you're elsewhere in the world, for example in the United States, you just email them at info@fragrancesamplesuk.com and they can get those orders out to you. It's run by my great friend Greg from the Greggy Boy 76 channel, one of my all-time favourite fragrance experts and reviewers on YouTube, and a man that I just have so much admiration for, and I know he's very, very passionate about his fragrances and also very, very dedicated to his business. They always give really good service. You'll hear nothing but good feedback about these guys. So let's get into my list of 5 modern masterpieces, and I'm going to flip it round today in a tribute to Greg because he always shoots these videos where he just focuses on the bottles, and I'm going to copy him. Sorry, Greg. So let's flip the camera angle. Okay guys, let's get stuck into it and see what we've got in my selections here. 5 fragrances, all absolute classics. The first one then, MOUSSE ILLUMINEE from Rogue Perfumery. This is a brand that has really captured my attention recently, and quite a few other people out there. It's a very small niche brand. The man behind the brand is a perfumer called Manuel Cross, a former chef who has now turned his skills to the art of making fragrances. MOUSSE ILLUMINEE came out in 2018, and it is one of a range of their fragrances which are all really interesting that you can sample over at Fragrance Samples UK. Notes on this one: tree moss, frankincense, green cypress, artemisia, laurel leaves, cedar, white floral notes, and white musk. Now, Manuel Cross says that when he set out to make this fragrance, he was looking to recreate a sort of 70s or 80s powerhouse scent, and he really has captured some of the essence of those magical fragrances of yesteryear. It's actually a very, very green fragrance, so when I hear 80s powerhouse, I think maybe Chorus by Yves Saint Laurent, but this is actually more like something perhaps like Polo Green from 1978 from Ralph Lauren, although it has a magic of its own. It's rather green, it's kind of ferny, it's mossy, it's got a very lovely vibrancy about it. It doesn't literally quite smell like anything that I've smelt that was made in the 70s or 80s. It's got something of this magic modern niche feel about it. One of the really interesting things about the brand is that their slogan is "Bureaucracy destroys art," and they do not actually comply with IFRA regulations about fragrance ingredients. So you're going to have stuff in here that they can't not use in your standard department store fragrances. So, for example, real oak moss is something that Rogue Perfumery are not afraid to put in these fragrances in heavy doses, which gives them this incredibly great longevity and tenacity and a really nice old school feel. So if you're looking for something perhaps that might remind you a bit of Italian Cypress from Tom Ford, or many other fantastic green mossy fragrances of yesteryear, then MOUSSE ILLUMINEE, great performance on that one as well. And if you actually like your sample and you want to pick up a full bottle, it's very reasonably priced for niche. I think about £60 they start at for a 30ml bottle. There are bigger ones. Now, the next fragrance here is going to be AMOUAGE Beach Hut Man. I was always put off by the name, which sounds a bit odd. It's a 2017 release from perfumer Elise Benat, and it's an absolutely sensational and rather unique fresh fragrance from AMOUAGE. I'll give you the note listing. It's mint, orange blossom, galbanum, vetiver, moss, ivy, myrrh, patchouli, and woody notes, and it's really quite a unique but very, very likeable, fresh, masculine, woody kind of fragrance. You definitely pick up on the note of mint in this one. Really nice. If you don't think of a peppermint sweet, think of freshly crushed mint leaves or something like that. Very, very vibrant. Almost, I always use this term, three-dimensional in the way it bursts out of the sprayer and it pumps off your skin for those first couple of minutes that you're wearing it. A little hint of citrus with the orange blossom and a sort of a white floral feel in there as well. A lovely vetiver note, a sort of indefinable spiciness mixed with a musky, soapy undertone. So it's a really, really unique kind of spicy, again rather green and very, very woody, but very fresh masculine fragrance. An absolute kind of beast mode summer fragrance, because it's very strong in performance. And if you're looking for something different to your more typical sort of Virgin Island water or even Neroli Portofino type of fresh fragrances, I think this is a unique, fresh, spicy, minty fragrance with a real masculine feel, and quite unique, and I think a masterpiece fragrance. I really do think it's top-notch stuff. So Beach Hut Man, the only thing is the name, it doesn't really put you in mind of the beach necessarily or beach huts, but I'll forgive them for that because it's such a great scent. So next up, it's POMELO Paradis. POMELO Paradis from ATELIER Cologne. Now this is just in contrast to Beach Hut Man, this is more of a typical, what you'd expect in a fresh fragrance type of thing. The notes in this one are pink grapefruit, Calabrian mandarin, black currant, orange blossom again, Bulgarian rose, mint again, amber, vetiver and iris. Pomelo is a fruit which is related to or very similar to the grapefruit, and this one does have a marked grapefruit note that you should pick up on. 2015 release, by the way. So really you get a very strong burst of very, very zesty, very photorealistic citrus. Some people say the mandarin is more dominant, others feel grapefruit. I get more of a grapefruit thing, but a mixture of grapefruit and oranginess. I also really like about this one that it has this very subtle fruity sweetness, perhaps coming from the blackcurrant note. So it's the sharpness of the grapefruit is tempered by a very appealing fruity and natural smelling sweetness, and an underlying hint of some florals, some herbal aromatic notes with the mint, and again a nice bit of vetiver and clean woods in the base. Probably quite a lot of ISO E Super in this one, which is a sort of synthetic modern fresh woody accord that can work really well in fragrances, helps them last well. I find again this one performs very well. Some people out there are saying it doesn't. I find it lasts really, really well. It's extremely fresh, very much unisex, and just the perfect, super invigorating. And I'm not a smiley person, but this literally has almost managed to put a smile on my face on occasions when I've worn it. Now, next up, it's Portrait of a Lady. Completely different thing here. Dominic Ropion, the perfumer for this one. And Portrait of a Lady, way back in 2010, that one came out. So just about scraping in as me being able to say it was in the last 10 years, and hence a modern masterpiece. It was actually named after a Henry James novel from 1881, with which I'm sadly not familiar. A very rich and thick fragrance. Notes are clove, cinnamon, rose, blackcurrant, raspberry, sandalwood, patchouli, incense, musk and benzoin. Two notes that jump out mainly, perhaps, are, for me, rose and patchouli. A fantastically rich and earthy patchouli note combined with a very, very beautiful kind of dark smelling rose accord. There's a certain resinous quality about it and an underlying sweetness, but always a kind of dark and rich sweetness, which is rather mysterious, perhaps like the portrait of the lady in question. The name, of course, may lead you to feel that it's a fragrance intended to be worn by women. It's very much a unisex smell to me. If anything, it perhaps leans a tiny bit more masculine, I feel. So if you're looking for a really great rose and patchouli combination, a sort of dark and rich fragrance that is also very, very appealing and quite unlike anything else that I've smelled out there, I think Portrait of a Lady, absolutely a 10 out of 10, a modern masterpiece and a superb fragrance. Next up, finally then, we're going with a house that's really impressed me recently. I've got something of a penchant for the fragrances from this house. This is MUSK Cologne from the house of BORTNIKOFF. So this fragrance house, run by the Russian perfumer Dmitry Bortnikov, I think he's based out in Thailand, and their thing that really makes them stand out from the rest of the world is the use of incredibly rare, high quality and in large proportion natural ingredients. The notes for Musk Cologne: bergamot, lemon, tangerine, and sweet orange. You've also, that's in the top. In the mid, you've got green tea, lily of the valley, magnolia, tuberose, and ylang ylang. Base notes of real carbaga, deer musk, Indian sandalwood, and gyak wood. An incredibly juicy and beautiful natural smelling citrus opening, mixed with very pleasing florals in the mid, and a very, very nice creamy, woody and musky base. Absolutely outstanding stuff. It may not sound like the most unique kind of fragrance list of notes ever, but I think you really can feel that this man is distilling extremely rare tinctures, maybe, I guess it's real sandalwood rather than any kind of synthetic accord, and so on and so forth. And that high quality feel really comes through in the scent of these. Again, very, very good performance, lasts really well on my skin, and just a superb all-round kind of citrus musky fragrance, I guess you would, as you would expect from the name, with such high quality that it's a joy to wear, and a really nice smooth sandalwood accord that I love in there. And this Carbaga deer musk, it's real deer musk, and I've never smelled, I don't think, apart from Bortnikov, fragrances made with that. And there is just this underlying hint of a sort of sultry, sexy, funky muskiness, as an almost animalic, sensual, dare I say even sexual undertone to an otherwise very fresh and affable kind of fragrance. So Musk Cologne, totally classic stuff. So check all these out. Go over to Fragrance Samples UK and order yourself a sample, see which ones you prefer, and also check out their other range of great stuff if you want your Creeds, your Tom Fords, your Xerjoff. Great way to have a little mini collection of maybe 5ml decants of each one, or 10ml maybe, and get to enjoy those brands without spending a fortune. Thanks a lot for joining me. That's the end of the video for today. Don't forget to check these fragrances out at Fragrance Samples UK. I will see you in the next video. Remember, whatever you're doing in life, let's project. Bye bye.